Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this authentic wellness. Yeah, I'm your host, Vincent Su. And today we have a very special guest joining us from Germany. Yeah, and he's none other than the co-founder and the managing director of this metaFox coaching tool, uh, a brand that is really inspired coaches, therapy, facilitators around the world to use the power of images and metaphors to spark transformation in life. Yeah, let's welcome Max. Max, it's such a good day to see you here. Yeah,
Thank you,
Eh,
Vincent. Thanks for the
yeah,
introduction.
good. Today we are going to share with the rest of the others to know about the magic of this visual coaching, yeah, cards that you have today. Yeah, maybe okay, for a
Yeah.
start, right? Let's look at the beginning, right? In terms of the what really inspired you, okay, to co-create these whole things of these metaphors. Maybe you want to share a bit of your history. Yeah. How do you get it started?
That's such a great question. And I think it started already many years ago. I think the early beginnings is really me and doing youth work, right? So working with children, working with young adults, later in university, teaching students, but also delivering personal development sessions, doing coaching, do a lot of things there with students in student NGOs.
Mm,
And what inspired also the name metaFox, that's the brand name, is really a train the trainer event that I was a part of the trainers team in
mm,
2014.
mm,
It was a 9-day event. It was really a strong bonding experience for the participants, also
mm,
for the trainers team. So we had 16 participants and 5 trainers, and
mm.
it was very intense.
Yeah.
And there we really developed the term of the metaFox. Let me show you
Mm,
here,
mm,
which back then was a hand sign, right,
ah,
to take on the meta perspective in in the room when we want to analyze what's actually happening. Let's talk group dynamics, right? Let's remove ourselves from our current position and take a super position, a meta position, and
mm,
look and analyze what's happening. And so
mm,
that the term metaFox was born there. And later we wanted to start a company, see if we can, because we were always inspired to do something in that field.
mm,
And then the name metaFox came very natural.
mm. Wow, okay. Yeah, I can understand that all the pictures cards, I mean, yeah, storytelling. Yeah, why do you believe that visual coaching using the cards is so effective in unlocking the self-awareness or transformation compared to these traditional kind of coaching methods?
Yeah, I'm a very big believer in visualization generally, and pictures are one form of visualization. Because when we talk about language, we mostly process the information cognitively, right? And we try to rationalize and see how the things fit into our worldview and all of that is happening in the background.
Mm,
And if we work with images, they really touch us on such a deeper level than words do, because we have a
mm,
immediate and emotional response to images that can be much stronger than to words only. Of course, everything is word assistant, right? So
mm,
we cannot do without words. That's for sure.
mm,
But pictures
mm,
can help us in that way to get to a deeper level much faster if we're in one-on-one coaching, or to
mm,
create a safe space if we're working with
mm,
groups much faster, because people directly can show what they feel, what they think about the workshop, what where they are in life, right? They can easily tell
mm,
a story themselves, and we are storytellers by nature. Yeah.
mm,
So
mm.
this is why I believe that
Wow.
working with
Yeah.
images is so powerful um, as a
Mm,
complementary tool to working, let's say,
mm,
with
mm,
words and traditional coaching methods, and open questions and circular questions and um,
mm,
paraphrasing and all these other, let's say, speaking tools that you use, right?
mm, mm. Yeah. I mean, as a coach, I can understand. Yeah. Last time I mean, like the using the traditional methods like talking. Yeah. And once I got to know your this all the coaching cards, yeah, and I use it in my coaching session as well as my training session, and you can see the
Yeah.
different, yeah, and how kind of to engage my clients, yeah, to share using the pictures, and that's something wonderful. Yeah. Maybe let's talk about the inner journey that you have came up with. Yeah. And I understand that, yeah, you're going to launch this first time ever in Singapore. Yeah. And in terms of this program called Inner Journal, maybe you want to share with us, yeah,
Yeah.
how does it came up with? I mean, yeah, the logic behind it.
So for the last, I don't know, 20 years, I have been facilitating development programs with leaders, with coaches, with individuals, be it one-on-one coaching or team building workshops or leadership development, strategy
Mm,
discussions, whatever it is, right? So working with people on emotional and factual topics and building visions and all of that.
mm,
And that is also what inspired us to then start metaFox as a company. And now
mm,
for the last 8 years, we have had our focus on creating amazing tools that people love. So now
mm.
we have that, and we have sold over 150,000 coaching tools worldwide.
Wow.
But people come back to us asking over and over, hey, where can I learn to best use these tools? Sure, we
Mm,
built them in a way that it's intuitive to use
mm,
them,
mm,
but
mm,
there's also some hacks that really can that you can do so much more with
mm,
these
mm,
tools. And so out of that need, we created the Inner Journey program so that you can become a metaFox certified coach
mm,
working with the tools. You can always use the tools. You can always do things wrong. You have to make sure that you provide the necessary space and safety when working with
mm,
any kind of tool, right? Even if it's just doing some paraphrasing and open questions.
mm, mm,
Same goes with these. But if you want to get more out of them, then
mm.
this can be a really good program to learn about emotions, how to
Mm,
work with emotions best in groups and with individuals. That's like for day number one. And we
mm,
connect this to debriefing. We connect this also to needs in a sense of nonviolent communication
mm,
and go a little bit into this framework. And then the second day, we really do a deep dive into images, into pictures. We build on the emotional response, basically,
mm,
that people anyways have. And now the question is, how can we use that best and the tools best and which tool when um, to create the impact we want to have,
mm,
from setting up the room to actually designing the question
mm,
to everybody having a card, and then what do you do with it and how do you share about it, or do you use it in individual reflection? Do I expand on the image maybe, right? So I can
mm,
easily ask, okay, so you selected an image for a certain topic. Now, what is not on the picture? Take it, glue it to another white paper, and expand the image, right?
mm,
Expand your vision. For instance, just
mm,
as one method that people don't think about using, if they're not taught, usually. Maybe, sure, people are creative. I'm not saying they can't come up with that stuff, but I think it's easier to get it in a condensed version. And then day three, we talk about and learn about strengths, and we use the metaFox Stronger You strength cards because
mm, mm,
working resource oriented is so important. Working with the cards makes the progress you can make in one coaching session so much easier, really. That we said, okay,
mm,
let's take the third day and focus on strengths. And of course, we'll incorporate elements from all these different fields because they're connected, right? In all of the days. But
mm,
this is
mm,
how we said we want to structure the days and then build upon the different tools.
mm. Wow. I mean, sounds very interesting. Yeah. Am I looking forward for the November training? Yeah. Coming training in November. Yeah. And I understand that the metaphors cards that now are using I think over 20 over countries, and that's amazing. Yeah, and just wonder how do you
Yeah,
adapt these cards right to different culture because yeah, I mean different yeah countries, different teams. How do you see it that resonate with people everywhere?
yeah. Um, so first of all, on the 20, over 20 countries, I did not count. Okay, so but I'm
Okay.
sure that over the last years we definitely sold over into 20 or more countries, um, because we're selling in the US, we're selling in Europe, we're selling in Singapore, we're selling in Japan. So
Mm,
we reach a lot of people because also in these countries, other people are buying from these countries, right?
mm, mm,
Um, I guess from Malaysia, you can buy in Singapore. In If you are anywhere in the world, you can buy from the United States in Amazon and things. So
mm.
for sure, we reached the 20 countries.
Yeah.
But I should count maybe at one point.
Mm, mm, yeah.
Um, how do we adapt the tools for
Mm,
different cultures, though?
yeah.
Um, well, that comes mostly with two things. We have to adapt their language if there's language in the tools, and we have to adapt images if there's images in the tools.
Mm, mm,
Because let's say a blossoming cherry tree has a very different meaning in Japan than it has in Germany, right? Because with hanabi and
mm,
other things. So just as one example for cultural meaning in images. And we do
mm,
that
mm,
by always working with um, native speakers, with people that live in the culture, and we ask them when we ask to
mm,
transcreate a tool, not to translate it, right? So translation means I
mm, mm,
translate literally
mm,
the word, and transcreation is I want to keep the meaning. I don't
mm,
necessarily want to keep the exact word, and uh, and that's the way to create tools that work in different languages. Most
mm,
of our portfolio now we have in German, in English, and in French. We're
mm.
currently expanding into Spanish,
Wow.
um, some of the tools. And yeah, I mean, I would love to also go into different Asian um, languages and so on. So
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of space and opportunities there. And it always starts with people coming to us and saying, "Hey, I would like to have that tool in a certain language, but you don't offer it. How do we do that?"
Yeah.
Right? And then we
Mm.
can start a conversation and see that how does it make sense.
Yeah. What about Mandarin Chinese? Yeah. Chinese. Translate into Chinese.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, and then we need to also sell in the Chinese market. And then the question
Yeah.
is a logistical one. How do we do that? How does taxes work? Do we have
Mm.
a reseller there that we partner with, and so on? So there's the
Mm.
content and transcreation part of the tool, and then there's logistical and business side of things. But it's
Mm.
all problems to be solved, let's say.
Yeah. And it's a good problem.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, before we wrap up, yeah, I have to ask, like, I mean,
definitely.
what's next for the metaFox? I mean, are there any exciting developments, collaborations, or even moving forward?
We're always working on new tools. That I can say we're
Mm-mm.
working on um, big maps at the moment, where you can do constellation work. So that's the next
Mm-mm.
big thing that we're working with, images that we can use as maps and to figure out our positions, our pathways, and project meaning on. So that's exciting
Mm-mm.
on a
Mm-mm.
product side of things. But of
Mm.
course, the most exciting is really working with you, seeing if we can do the inner journey program, doing the inner journey program in Singapore.
Mm.
And we are having two introduction sessions where people can learn about this on August 15 and on September 5th. I don't remember the
Yes.
time exactly. What was the Singapore time?
8 p.m. 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m.
8 p.m. 8 p.m.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So 90 minutes of learning more about the Inner Journey program, how we are going to do this, how the facilitation looks like, the content, the venue. And that's really very exciting. And I'm looking forward to facilitating this with you
Mm.
in November. Going to
Mm-mm.
Singapore. I've never been to Singapore. So that's also going to
Wow.
be a first time for me. I
Yes.
have been in Asia quite a bit, but not there. So
Uh,
that's going to be amazing. And
yeah.
yeah, changing people's lives one by one with the right coaching tools, with the right things
Mm-mm.
to have a bigger impact.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward for you to come to Singapore, and you will be bringing your team, some of them, right, to Singapore. Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Yeah. And with
you
all,
will probably have
mm.
somebody else there. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, good. Yeah. And I'm looking forward, and let's do it. Come on. Yeah. And then, of course, yeah. And other than that, of course, we're looking forward for people to join us on the upcoming intro sessions for the inner journey, and on the 15th August and 5th September at 8 p.m. Singapore time. Yeah. And welcome to join us.
Yeah.
And with that, thank you, Max. Yeah, for sharing, and looking forward, yeah, to your more sharing on the 2 dates. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Vincent. That was fun.